How do you go through a town when you don't have any wheels or whatever? I'm just going to random spots on Google Maps and just seeing what they are, finding out more information. This one said it was Amaga, and that means like kind of well water-esque type stuff. And it turns out that this big hole in the ground, which is behind me,
in this episode,
it's a cave.
we send some mail.
It was a source of water back in the day.
And infringe on copyright.
It's why this village formed here as opposed to other areas on the island, because there's so much space on the island. There really isn't, but people have really amalgamated around this area, and that's because this was the water source way back when. Saw a lot of pictures in tourism documentation that showed people walking down this road, enjoying themselves. So we're gonna walk down this road and see if there's anything else to see in this area. The signage near this temple said that it is 300 years old.
Shrine?
Shrine? Temple? This thing? 300 years old. But this is looking like really 1950s, or just at the same time that everything else progressed in this area. It does not feel ancient. It doesn't feel old. It just feels like that.
Maybe this is on the site of the original or something like that.
That is definitely, just pour some concrete on it, spirits will deal with it. The inside of it's a little bit strange. There's just like a little shower seat there to sit on. The signage also informed us that there are half the size of me birds here. We haven't encountered any of these birds, but that the population of them really likes the types of trees that are here. And we were able to hear a lot of them chirping. They might be irritated by my chirping now, and they're not chirping anymore.
We're headed to Sato Nushi's grave. And on the way there, we saw these little signs, help us find the way. And also, we got a reminder that we're in Okinawa, because there's a Spam can. Somebody was just back here, raw dogging some Spam by the grave.
Everyone deals with grief in their own way. This is unsettling. It's really unsettling. Like, the whole vibe out here is nice and forested, but I think I might be in someone's grave. I don't really know. Something doesn't feel okay about right here. According to this sign, that was not a grave. That's like dude's pool or something like that. I don't know. But we still have to follow the arrows to get to the actual grave. Eric Crane. I called you Eric Crane.
Eric Crane.
Eric Crane.
Eric Crane.
Let's enjoy this crunch.
Oh. I stepped on something earlier and it went kapow! I hope we can find another one of those.
If it's like a really big nut or something.
Ooh, this is looking more grave-like, but also now I'm starting to feel like the thing you were in was a grave.
Oh man, it was some unknown
It was
twerp's
just somebody...
grave.
Wow, look at this, man.
Like Aztec. Eric says I'm not allowed to call dead people twerps.
Yeah.
I guarantee you there are twerps that died.
There probably are, but you can't just assume. You gotta dig in and learn about these people a little bit, and I have done a little bit of digging and learning. There's a bunch of these graves in this area, and it's like kind of unclear if they're all part of the same family or not. It's not labeled super well, so it's all a little bit like, but the name on the placard isn't referring to a single person that we've been seeing. It's like the family line. And the way that they ended up getting here was, and I'm going to paraphrase this sort of through some Japanese I kind of guessed a little bit on, but apparently some dude was in somewhere, and then due to a graffiti incident, he was executed. And his wife and children and stuff were all excommunicated from that area to the islands around this region. And some of them ended up here and then starting families and then growing, families, whatever. And then this is the tombs of that family. So it's like a dude that did some graffiti and then
his people got thrust out into different islands, and now this is their burial plot.
Yeah, and this happened like hundreds of years ago, but I'm not clear why they became prominent or significant enough to have in the year 2023 one year, almost 2023, whatever.
Yeah, close
By the time they
enough.
watch it, it's 2023.
Closer than farther.
It's true. By the time, like, why is it significant still now? I don't understand that from what I kind of only half understood. The sign. But anyway, that's what's going on. It's found like the most interesting part to me was like, dude, like that's why you don't graffiti, guys. It's apparently
What, you're gonna get a sweet burial plot like this? Obviously, you should do some graffiti so that I can be living at large and people come and visit me.
You want me to do
Yes.
graffiti and get killed?
Yeah.
I'm not a twerp.
Just for context, very close to where we just were with the ancient graves. These are the more modern equivalents. And I can see parts that really feel the same. When you go into the tomb, the older tombs, and you walk through that door, there's usually like a wall. And then there's a hole very low down in the wall where you assume the body might be. These kind of have that same feature. So it's interesting to see that these are just a more modern version of that. I don't know if that's meant to be or if it's just a coincidence, but it's surprising that they feel somewhat the same now.
To be clear, these types of graves are not super common in Japan. It feels like stuff that we've seen in other parts of Southeast Asia and things, but this feels like maybe something special to Okinawa or maybe even special to this area. I'm not educated about it enough to know for sure, but up in Tokyo and stuff, graveyards look a lot different than this. They're not these like little houses that are holding one thing. They're much, much more tightly packed together, and they don't have like their own individual roof and stuff normally. So it is a little striking just in general. And maybe it does fall back from that old style graveyard that we're seeing in the woods. And Katie made a good point about those. She said, do you think there used to be a roof on top of these? Because there's walls, and maybe the roof just didn't survive, or maybe it was just thatched or something. We have a lot of questions about this. Does anybody have any answers? This is a slightly more typical looking Japanese structure for a graveyard or something like that. It's a little big. It's bigger than like your normal one, but it's kind of like the same style compared to the other structures we've been seeing. And it's got, the lanterns and the koma inu and that type of thing. It's like much more like, okay, yeah, this is what I've seen all the time. And I just spent probably 20 minutes distracted in this little field because it's full of butterflies. I was like making videos and taking pictures of butterflies. And some of them came out pretty cool, but I didn't get the picture I wanted. But whoever gets the picture they want, it never works out exactly how you want. But I still got some cool footage.
I saw this tree and I just thought, wow, that looks like an elephant. I'm gonna touch it. So came over here and was touching it, and then Eric saw these little signs. So we sat here, it's probably been a good 10 minutes for us trying to figure out what this is talking about. We have two separate stickers. One of the stickers is from Reiwa 2. That is a particular year in the Japanese calendar, just deal with it. This is Reiwa 3, a year after. So November in 2 here and December in 3 here. So time has passed, a year has passed. Back in Reiwa 2, this tree was 117 centimeters across. We struggled with diameter and circumference here and kanji. It was difficult, but we figured it out. It's just across. At its widest point, it was 117 centimeters. A year later, 120 centimeters. So this boy is growing 3 centimeters a year this way.
Even though we've lived in Japan for over a decade, it's still fun to go to other parts of Japan and find the snacks and treats that you don't have readily available to you in Tokyo. And believe me, I believe you, but do you believe me that I know what's inside of convenience stores in Tokyo? Let me tell you what, we spend time in convenience stores. So going into them here, we will find things that it's just like, okay, I've never seen that before. And on this island, there's no convenience stores, but there are those 2 supermarkets that might be closer to convenience stores, to be honest, once you go inside. I found a thing that I've never seen before. This says it is a specialty of Okinawa, and it's called tonkon. It's a fruit of some sort, and it looks like it's orange, and it seems like maybe like a watered down fruit juice. I'm gonna go ahead and shake it up.
Did it have funk on the butt?
Like like external
Yeah,
funk?
yeah, like where you had to, internal funk.
It looked a little darker, yeah. Okay, so let's find out what a tonkon is. Okinawa has a lot of specialities, like a lot. When you go into these stores, you're like, we were walking through a supermarket this morning, like on the other island, we're like, never seen that, I've never seen that, and it's like Okinawa stuffs. It's like it tastes like a mango orange, kind of like a citrusy mango, I guess is how I would describe that, like based on a one-time suckle of the juice. It's pretty good. I would like to eat the fruit if you can, if it's like a fruit that you can just have. That sounds like a good time, because you know how like these juices, like 100, it's 100 yen or something, it's like $1. Like it's kind of probably watered down and processed, but yeah, it's interesting. It's like a citrusy mango, which kind of surprised nature doesn't make. Nature might make it. It's in the jug, baby.
Wow, that's well-rounded. But it smells like gas now that car went by. I'd say you nailed it.
This is a highlight from a video series we filmed in Okinawa, Japan. The full thing is linked on screen and down below. Check it out for the whole adventure.